All right, balancing individual and community, subjective feelings versus objective truths. We talked about this, the objective right and wrong, the objective nature of acts and how Allah has defined them and legislated according to him, and the subjective feelings of people who are facing these desires, right? So as I said before, individuals dealing with same-sex attraction or gender identity issues should be supported in their efforts to realize their purpose as Muslims and live their lives in submission to Allah and his deen. Again, go back to that, article by Brother Yusuf, from a same-sex attracted Muslim between distorting reality and denying reality and distorting religion, okay? So we should have private support and consultation to people who deal with these issues, right? Someone comes to you, they should be able to go to an imam, to their parents, to trusted individuals, right? Like with any other problem they might have and need support, they should be able to find it within supportive and compassionate and loving communities, right? But this is private. Like if I have a drinking issue or anything else, right? I'm going to go and speak about it private. I'm not just going to come in and wear it on my shirt and sort of set up a table at the mosque. That's a very different thing, right? So private support and consultation, people should have people within the community to turn to, right? As opposed to public, quote unquote, accommodation or inclusion. Again, I put these in quotes because these are buzzwords. Accommodation, inclusion, right? They sound very nice, but they mean something very specific, which is not acceptable given our moral framework as Muslims, right? Defiant activist types within the community should not be allowed to disrupt Islamic spaces or impose their will on the community. Again, no exceptionalism here. You want to come to the Eid celebration and set up a wine table, that's not going to be tolerated. You drink on your own time, that's your own business. You don't come and push it on the community. No exceptionalism when it comes to sexual behavior that is prohibited by the religion. Supporting the faithful struggler, we've done this, show empathy and understanding for what is often a very difficult and emotionally taxing issue. Support the person in general, spiritual and other ways, mentorship, general advice, listening ear, shoulder to cry on, right? But also, again, this is someone comes to you privately, know your limits. You are not a spiritual guide. You're not a professional psychologist. It's a deep issue and you don't know the details of it. So what? Direct them to resources, such as all the resources we have in our community, such as A Way Beyond the Rainbow, podcasts, and these other resources, and maybe offer to discuss. But know your pay grade, as Paul said earlier. Don't go beyond your pay grade. And then finally, maintaining the straight path, clarity, compassion, conviction, the 3 C's. We've come up with this in some other groups, right? You are not more merciful than Allah, right? So people say we need to be compassionate. Of course we do. And true compassion is guiding to the truth and what pleases the Creator. This is what is going to be best for people in this world and in the next. This is true compassion. Compassion is not to usurp the place of God, overrule his legislation because you know better, right? This is something that people who they come with this argument from compassion and justice. You're not more compassionate and just than Allah. He is Al-Adl, he is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, and none of us can claim those titles for ourselves. Be humble and kind, but never apologetic about Islamic beliefs, right? We're not apologetic. Islam is clear. It's from the Creator. It's a birthright of every human being to know about it, to be told and to be invited to it. And Allah guides whom he wills. It's not in our hands, right? Islamic teachings, very important take-home message, and this is the last one. Islamic teachings on sexual ethics are not an embarrassment or a problem. Listen, youth in the West, right? Islamic teachings on sexual ethics and gender and sexuality and the whole gamut are not an embarrassment or a problem. They are the only solution to our problems. They are the solution that the West itself desperately needs, and we all desperately need. And it is for us to realize that and take it on and articulate it in the best and most beautiful way. As we read in the Quran, "Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wal maw'izati al hasana wajadilhum billati hiya ahsan." Call to the way of your Lord with hikmah, wisdom, and beautiful exhortation, and dispute with them in the best possible way, right? This is the command that we have been given.